if it happens and or it doesn't happen, but I think the fear for me comes with not doing it or even trying it.
What do you fear? Because you've gone through quite a hefty childhood. I mean, in school, obviously, it made impacts on you. What is it that you fear?
Good question. At this moment, it's not reaching my full potential. I think from everything that I read, from everything, the conversations that I have, and from my own goals, my biggest fear is not reaching the potential that I've set for myself in my own head. Now, the way that manifests that self is an action most of the time. And my biggest goal is trying to do as much as I can with the time that I have and the opportunities that I have with me. Now, my fire, I think, which is parallel to my why. Like I think the why and the fire, they're conducive to one another, because without that why and that, without that fire, I think the why sometimes is subdued. And I think having setting that lofty goal, you always have to be accountable to that, and how you're accountable to that is the actions that you take. Now, I'm very aware that I'm starting to verbalize this more with my followers and on video, so that makes this even more of, I don't want to call it a challenge, because I feel like whether it happens or it doesn't happen, I think that shouldn't take away from the fact of working towards it. But it is a very, I don't care if it doesn't happen. Like that fear is not, like, for me, like I don't care if it happens and or it doesn't happen, but I think the fear for me comes with not doing it or even trying it, because I'm very fortunate to have, a degree, and I'm working towards a professional qualification. So if anything ever happens, I could always fall back on it. So in my mind, like there's absolutely nothing I can lose in the situation. So that's why for me, I feel like everything's working towards it, like at this moment. So my fear is I'm not doing as much as I can on a day-to-day basis. Now, I have this goal in 5 to 10 years. Now, I can think about the goal in 5 to 10 years, but if I'm not doing everything that I can do on a daily basis to get to it, there's no point even thinking about it. So my greatest fear is every single day, am I doing as much as I can? That's it. Like I try and keep it as simple as that, because you start thinking 6 months, a year down the road, and sometimes you get overwhelmed. And I've done this. And this is why I struggle with goals. Like people like you have to write down your goals. And I remember reading listening to a very interesting video by Tim Ferriss. And he talks about not listing your goals, but listing your fears. If you want to go back into the fear, is listing your fears rather than your goals. So what is your fear? Because your fears drive your goals at the end of the day. So list out your fears. What are your fears? And that will drive the action that you need to take going forward.